So you've selected the type of campaign that you want to run. Now we come to this selection here, networks. So Google Search Network is the one that is automatically ticked because that is what we have selected. Now it gives you a box here which you can untick that says include search partners. Now what this means is that your ad will also show on websites that are within Google Search Partner websites, okay? So one of these websites is Amazon, okay? Now Python is the course I am going to try and sell. And I put Python course in the search box up here. And you will see, here are some sponsored links by Pact. And what you see here is some particular Python programming books that these guys have paid for with an ad. So an ad will show on here as one of Google's display partners. Then if you go down to the bottom here, you will also see some sponsored links here. There's 4. There's one, Learn Python Online, Python course, Python training, online Python courses. Now, none of these are actually with Udemy, but having said that, doesn't really matter. If you've got an online browser looking for a Python course, this is the selection that is spread out for them. And how suitably these courses cater to the needs of the browser depends on how effective they're likely to be. Now, these may also show if you're looking for just a Python book. So what that means is that although these will display, and although I have seen these, right, I will more than likely not click on them. So the person who has run this ad is paying for the impression. I've seen it, I'm not clicking on it because to me it's not relevant if I was looking for a Python book. Now this can be effective because I have actually looked for Python course. I'm not sure how many people would actually look for Python course, but I've looked for it. So what Amazon has displayed to me are just books. They're not courses, okay? These are courses. So I'm probably more likely to pick on one of these than to actually pick a book. But it relies on me seeing this and paying any attention. And I don't know if you pay attention to the ads, but most of the time I don't pay attention to these. I'm just looking for the book. You know, so if somebody has scrolled all the way down to go to the next page, this is an impression. You've seen this now. So the person that has run the ad is paying for it. They're paying for the impression. Now you've not necessarily clicked, but they are paying for the impression. So if you've got a big budget, it certainly makes sense to actually include search partners. However, if you don't have a big budget, what you're potentially doing is spending a lot of money not only advertising on Google, but advertising on their search partners when they may not actually be too relevant for the browser in terms of what they're looking for. So it all depends really. It doesn't seem like there's a right or wrong answer to this. Now, what I will also say with regards to Google search partners is that this changes, okay, and you don't necessarily know where it's going to be displayed, if it's on the appropriate place, if it's under the appropriate article. You never know where it's going to be displayed. And it may actually compromise the effectiveness because you'd have no control of where it's displayed and what triggers your ad to come up. But I think what it mainly boils down to is budget. Do you have the budget to be able to advertise both on the Google Search Network and within the Google Search Partners? And if you get a high cost per impression, but not exactly many clicks or many conversions, is it worth it? It might be worth testing, and you can actually change it at any time anyway, or add it later. So for my personal preference, I am going to disclude it, but this is of course up to you. If you've got the budget for it, and if you want to be seen by more people, this is probably a better option to choose. So I hope this has helped, and I'll see you in the next lecture.